Hey everyone, welcome back. Working on the 59 again. Just trying to get some more little stuff buttoned up and sorted out. I've been working on the headlight and front wiring harness here. I got all the lights figured out, daytime running lights, high beams, low beams, turn signals, and the horns and stuff, windshield washer. Got a plan for that. Hopefully I can use the tank out of the 03. And I got one of my fuel lines in today, so I'm just working on that. Going to show you how we go about putting that together. So this is thank you to Brent from Half-Ass Customs. If you guys don't watch Brent, you should. He's a real do-it-yourselfer and doesn't spend a whole lot of money. So what we got is the Dorman. All I got in today was the 5/16. This is the product here, part number 800-071. And then the 800-080.5 is the fittings for it, the push-on fittings. So right there, this will be the return line. Just going to take the lock out. And then I've got the first one put in already. Just going to do the second fitting here. So what I've done is taken a piece of 2x4 and I drilled holes in it one size smaller than the fuel line. And then I took a chisel and I split it lengthwise across the holes. And take your fuel line, stick it in there, stick it in the right amount for your fitting to stick out, or your hose. Pretty critical you get that measurement right. Let me get this. Oh, I think I lost it. Houston, we have an issue. Okay, there it is. Clamp it in the vise here. And then using a little bit of silicone lubricant again. You only need a dab. See if I can get this in frame. Come on. Just put a little bit right on the very end of your fitting here so it slides in. Not quite sure why they recommend silicone instead of an oil or something, but they do. So the next thing you want to do is just get it started in the fitting using a rubber hammer. Once you get it started, make sure you go really straight. And that's it. Super easy. That's the two fittings done and ready to go on. Now if I could just get the 3/8, we'd be laughing. We'd have this thing running. So, okay, I'm going to install this line. Okay everyone, we're back again. Finally got my 3/8 Dorman fuel line. Anybody that's interested, that's the part number 800-072. And then this is the part number for the 3/8 fuel ends. So I find that the 3/8 actually goes together easier than the 5/16. So another little trick I found is leave your line about 3/16 of an inch longer out of your block than what the fitting is. It'll just make it go on a little bit further. Get it started. Hold your line and the fitting straight. And bam! Bob's your uncle. Just like that. So this is the last piece I got to install. Once I get this up there, I'll show you what I did for my fuel filter and what I'm using there. Okay everyone. So this is the original equipment filter for the 03 Silverado. It's got threaded ends on both ends. And I didn't want to do that because I'm not using steel lines, I'm using the plastic lines. So this one here is one I found. It's for a little bit, I think 1 generation older. It's a GF 580 is the number, and it's got the push to connect on both ends. For mounting it, I just took a piece of 18 gauge and I bent it in the same radius as the filter itself, bent it back towards the frame, and then just a 90 down top and bottom, and I put 2 tech screws in. I cut 2 little slits, one there and one on top, and then I could put a worm gear clamp in it just to clamp it to the frame there. I did put a little bit of foam tape on the mount itself here, just as a little bit of an isolator so we don't get a rust point. So that's it. We're all hooked up at the top and on the bottom here. So next thing is I'm just going to run to town and grab some gasoline or some petrol, as Mr. Tweed would say, and see if this thing will start. I should be back in half an hour or so. Take care. Okay, everyone, the big moments here. A little bit of butterflies going on. I'm not afraid to say it. Hopefully everything's going to go good. I left the fuel pump fuse out and cranked it over a bunch to get some oil moving around because this thing has sat for quite a while. I put the fuel pump relay back in and cycled it 3 times, checked for leaks, no leaks. I've got HP tuners hooked up here. That way I can monitor oil pressure and everything right off the bat in case the gauges aren't working. So let's give her a try. It should, for all intents, fire right up. Zoom you in here a little bit. Hopefully it focuses. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the key on, and I'm going to start scanning. Connect to vehicle. Okay, and start scanning. Let's see if she's going to start. We got good oil pressure, 305 kPa. It's running the same oil pressure as what my 2011 runs. That's pretty awesome. Ain't gonna leave it running for too long. I got no cooling system or anything hooked up, but man, does that run nice. I'm tickled pink. No check engine light. I do have a battery light for some reason. And I got the 3 that I expected, the airbag, the seatbelt, and the ABS. So pretty happy. Okay, everyone, as you saw, it lives finally. I think it's been 4 years, maybe 3, don't know. Been working on it pretty hard here the last couple of months, but we're getting there. I had a bit of a fit here. I couldn't figure out why it wasn't charging, and then I realized there was no alternator belt on it, or no serpentine belt on it. So once I put that on, it started charging 14.67 volts. So everything's good there. Next thing I'm gonna do is get the cooling system hooked up and see if we can maybe take this for a little rip. It won't have any doors or anything on it, but that's the way it goes when you live in the sticks. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for bearing with me with all this crap. And we'll catch you in the next one. Take care, everyone.